Sweetie girl. Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, come to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1761, Memorial Day. So I hope you've all had a great day. It has been very hot here in Surprise. It is, I totally forgot to look up the temperature. Let's go quickly look. I think it's like 100. It's currently 99, but feels like 101. It was up to 101 earlier because that was our high of today. So for my Kiwi people, my metrics, gotta hit more for more buttons. That's 37 degrees Celsius or 38 degrees if you're looking at the 101. Yeah. So we're supposed to be going for a walk after this. We're gonna wait a little longer, just a little longer. So it's been a very hot, sunny day, but we have gotten a lot done today, along with a lot of reading. Oh my gosh, I had to keep checking the clock and make sure I kept checking the clock because I was reading. I will get more to that. Anyway, so we started the day off with our walk, which was hot because it was already in the 70s for our walk today. And then we came home from the walk and had breakfast. I made this yummy protein shake today that had spinach and Greek yogurt and asparagus and frozen berries and protein powder in there and my homemade almond milk. Which reminds me, almost at the point where I need to make another batch of that. I'll tell you, that almond milk is really good. The homemade stuff. It's just raw organic raw almonds with, it was 1 cup of organic raw almonds with 3 cups of filtered water into the Vitamix and just let it run. And then you got to strain it afterwards to get some of the little bits out. I need to find a strainer though, but otherwise it tastes really good. It is a little gritty because my strainer wasn't fine enough for it. I think I might have to use a cheesecloth next time, but and I have those. I found those. So we'll have to see. But it was really good. And then of course Zeffie had her vet visit today, and it was so funny. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. So we get up to the vet, and it was like, what time was our appointment? It was 9:30 this morning. So we arrived just beforehand, and getting her on the scale is a challenge. But she went and hopped up there on herself and put her front paws up to the seat of the person behind the desk. So she just had her back legs on the thing. So we eventually got her to sit on there and got one weight. And I said, that sounds really heavy for her. And I said, because she feels a lot lighter and her harness has gotten looser on her over the last few weeks. And so I said, let's try her again. And she actually sat on it the first time. And then we got her to stand on it the second time, and it dropped a pound. So she was at 41 pounds. And I was like, that's not right. That can't be right. So maybe it's muscle bulk. We don't know. But we went they put you into like an examination room, but then they come in and take the dog and take her out back. And so they did all the sign-in and everything else, took her off out back. And of course, I have to walk to the door like I'm coming along too, so that she being who she is, she has to lead people through the door. So she went through with the guy that checked us in. And I kept telling her, I'll be here, because she saw the leash come out, and she was like, nope. And she was hiding under the bench. They have this bench in the corner that you can sit on. She's hiding under the bench. And I'm like, no, it's okay, sweetie girl, it's okay. And so we had to talk her, and then so we finally got her out into the back. And I'm sitting there in the room on my Kindle reading my book. I mean, on my phone, on my Kindle app, reading the Baskets and Beignets by Jana de Leon, which is her 27th novel of the Miss Fortune series. Her latest one. It just came out like on Monday or Tuesday. It came out this past week. And so I'd put aside a day this weekend to read it, but I hadn't had a chance to do that yesterday because I got, plans change. And so I was like, well, I can read it. Well, I'm sitting there reading. Meanwhile, it sounded like it was right outside the door. It was just a little further along. I could hear Zeffie crying and crying and crying with her whining and everything else. And I'm like, oh no. So they brought her back in after about 10 minutes. She comes running over to me, and they take the leash off her, and I was able to get her. And she just stood there while I put the harness on. And she's like, okay, let's get out of here. But I said to them, and then they were telling me all the tests, because it was her 6 months. Every 6 months she gets a comprehensive test. I'm with Banfield. And the only reason I started with Banfield was as their vet service was because they're countrywide. And when I was traveling in the RV, it meant that I didn't have to worry about carrying her records with me all the time. I did carry copies of her records with me all the time, but it meant that I could go to a Banfield. They could just pull it up on the computer, and there everything was. But if I had an emergency where there wasn't a Banfield, I had her records with me just in case. But it meant that most of the time for ordinary stuff, I didn't have to do that. And so they have a preventative program where she gets her wellness checkup every 6 months. And this was her wellness checkup, and along with getting her rabies and excuse me, her rabies and her distemper shots updated. So so I said to them, I says, man, she had a lot to tell you guys when you guys were working on it. And they says no. She said she was quiet, and because I noticed there was quiet times, and they said no. The only time that she started crying was when they weren't paying her any attention. So when they were like giving her shots, they were listening to her heart, doing the echogram, and all the other tests that they do for her for a wellness program. She was quiet. They were paying her attention. But as soon as they stopped paying her attention, she was wanting to come back to me. She could see the door where I was, and she kept trying to get towards it. And they would, and of course, wouldn't let her. She said that she just kept trying to get back to you. And I'm like, oh, the poor girl. So so everything was good. We got in the car and went off to PetSmart and got her a pet food. And I've gotten smart with her when we go to the pet store, because she likes to mark spots that other dogs have marked. And so I've solved that problem by picking her up and putting her in the shopping cart, because trying to deal with her and a bag of dog food at the same time, or her on a leash and me with a shopping cart trying to do that one-handed while she's trying to go off in every direction and pee all over the place. I just put her in the shopping cart and just hold onto a leash so she can't jump out. She was not happy. She was not happy. Unless I was petting her as we were walking, she was making a noise and making it known that she was not happy to be ignored. But we got back in the car, and I was driving home, and so I thought, oh, hang on. I still have, because at the beginning of the month, I went to the car wash and got my car wash for the first time in I don't know how long. And I thought, I still have that month. I still have a month to get as many car washes as I want done in a month. And it cost me like $10. They had a special on the day where it's usually like a $25 a month package, I think it is, where you get your car washed as many times as you want during the month, or as often as you want, for $25. And I thought, well, they had it on sale for $10. And I was like, why not? So we went there. Now, I have to tell you, this dog has absolutely amazed me the entire time that I have had her. Thunderstorms come and go. Zeffie will jump more in the RV, and there are thunderstorms and all that in the area. It's a lot louder when you're in an RV because you don't have that sound installation that you do in a house. And when thunderstorms started happening, she would run up, jump on the dashboard, nudge the curtain aside, and look out the window and watch. And was just totally amazed me. Even when we had hail coming down on the roof, she would just lay there quite calmly. So we went through the car wash, and I had never taken her through the car wash before. And I thought, well, this is going to be interesting. We get into the car wash, and she's sitting there in the back seat, and she's just like looking out the windows, watching all the stuff getting sprayed onto the car and the view of the outside going. She just sat there very quietly and just looked around. And then, of course, the brushes started up and coming up the car windows and everything else, and coming in on the sides and all that. She just sat there quietly, just looking around. And then she was just like, had enough of this. So she just laid down and went to sleep. Then we came to the dryers, and she just like puts her head up, looks around, puts her head back down again. I have the best dog ever. She didn't freak out in the car wash. And if you've been through car washes, you know about the brushes coming up and beating against the side of the vehicle, or the spray stuff coming on and blocking the view, and the roar of the heat of the dryers and everything else. Didn't phase her one iota. Nothing. No reaction. Just sort of like looked around and basically just laid down and went back to sleep. So then we went over to the area where they have the free vacuums, and they have the cloths and all that, so you can dry off your car and everything else. So I was like, I'm not going to vacuum today because I didn't really need a vacuum. Probably did on the front carpets, but I wasn't going to bug her with that. So I just did the toweling of the thing, and every time I opened the door, she would like, talk to me. And I'm like, yep, just got to dry off the car. It won't take long. And just talk to her every time I opened a car door to dry around the frames and everything else. And then we hopped in the car and went and came back home again. But she just amazed me today with the car wash. I thought she would freak out, start whining, or look scared. Nope. She just sat there, looked around, and then laid down and went to sleep. Like, well, this is no big deal. And I was like, thank you. I've got the best dog in the world. And so we came home and had lunch. And then basically I have spent the afternoon sitting around in the house, just reading and reading through baskets and beignets. I think there's, is it 26 chapters in the book? It's like 26 chapters, and I'm up to chapter 17 or 18. I don't actually have very long left to read in the book, so I'll probably get it knocked out tonight. Yes, that would be my mission, to knock it out tonight. But I will tell you this, if you don't know the Miss Fortune mystery series and you like cozy mysteries with a lot of humor in them, and you have to start at book 1, which is Louisiana Longshot. That's the first book, because they build on the characters all the way through the series. So and this author is great at developing the characters and the antics that they get up to. So Fortune Redding is a former Black Ops CIA operative who had a price on her head. So her boss decided to hide her in this little town called Sinful, Louisiana, which is somewhere just outside of New Orleans. And I can't remember where the author actually said that she kind of based this fictional town. And she gets hidden there as her boss's niece. I can't remember what her name was, but her boss's niece is a former beauty queen and is now a school librarian, and was over, and they had sent her off. They had sent the actual niece off to Europe for the summer vacation. And so she was supposed to come in because her aunt had passed away and had left her the house and all that. And she was supposed to be inventorying the house for the probate. And so the Sandy Sue, I think it was Sandy Sue. And so Sandy Sue got sent off to Europe, and Fortune got dressed in the part. Now, Black Ops operative, short hair, loves her guns, can play anything, but all of a sudden she has to play a beauty queen and gets hair extensions put in and has to wear heels and dresses, and totally not her. So it just sort of sets the scene. Then she meets Ida Bell and Gertie, who figure out that she is not a librarian and not a former beauty queen. And then that's when everything starts happening. And then it's just all these amazing characters that the author brings in every book. And quite often when she's going through the books, she refers back to past characters and past books and things like that too. And like I said, she's up to book 27, which just came out this past Tuesday. I am over halfway through it and absolutely loving it. In fact, I didn't want to stop reading because thankfully the scene that I was reading was over, because I was sitting there cracking up laughing. I couldn't even read the words. I had to put the Kindle down so that I could just laugh. Until I got the laughter out of the thing. And then I had to go and read the next bit, and it sort of like started the laughter off again. There was this one thing where it was just one thing after another that was just sort of like this calamity. So yes, so if you want a good cozy mystery with a lot of laughs in it, check out the Miss Fortune mystery series by Jana de Leon. And Louisiana Longshot is the first one. I think I may even have it linked to it in the description. Do I have the link there? I'm just having a quick look. Oh, I don't have it in the description. Travel planner, then something new, mind mapping. Yep, nope, don't have it in I did have it in the description at one point, but I don't have it there now. Maybe I'll go back and put it in there. But it's a really cool series, and I want to get back to it and read some more. So I'm actually going to go and sit and read some more of it right now. Because Zeffie doesn't know it, but we're not going for a walk till like around 7:15. The sunset's due to be just after 7:30, and I want to go out as late as we can while it's still daylight, simply because of the heat. It is, it was 101 today, 38 for those back in New Zealand. So it was a little on the warm side today, but it's been a really good Memorial Day. I did take time today to have a moment of silence for those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice for this country, and remembering and just being thankful and grateful for what they have done. So I did do that, and I've got my red, white, and blue shirt on today. I have my cap. I was wearing my cap today and got complimented a lot on my cap, and it's a denim cap, and it's got studs on it, so it sparkles. and it's got an American flag across the front made with these studs, and then it's got the brim has got them around the rim of the brim of the peak of the cap. It's a really cool cap. If I remember tomorrow, I will bring it in here to show you guys. But if you've seen me on past ones like the July or Memorial Day ones, I was wearing the cap on the show. I was thinking about wearing it tonight and totally forgot to grab it. So, yeah, I'll show it to you guys tomorrow. But it's a really cool cap. And I got lots of compliments on it today as well. But it's been a very Zeffy scented day today. And she did really, really well and totally surprised me, especially through the car wash with the brushes beating on the windows and all the foam stuff that gets sprayed on and then going through the dryers. She just couldn't, she sits there and looks around. Got it worked out. It's fine. And I guess she kind of looked at me too and goes, I'm just a little relaxed and just sort of like, what do you think of this? And she's just like looking around. I go, not bad, huh? And I guess she just trusts me enough that I wouldn't put her in any situation that would cause her any danger or anything else. But she was just all chilled and relaxed about it. So, yeah, it's been a very warm day today. So anyway, that's it from us. I hope you all enjoyed your Memorial Day. And that, oh yeah, that was one thing I noticed today. I don't know who does the electronic signs around here in Surprise, but they put up some really cool messages. It's like overindulged with a question mark, and it goes, and then it goes, you lose. It was overindulged. Oh no, overindulged under arrest is what it had. And I thought that was pretty cool. And then it had you booze, you cruise, you lose was another one that was up today. And then there was, what was that one about the barbecue? It had cookout essentials, and it had barbecue. And I can't remember what the third line said, but the fourth line had designated driver, like it was a checklist. There was like 3 items on the thing. Barbecue was number 1. Can't remember what the number 2 was, but the third one was designated driver. And I thought, love that. So yes. But yeah, it surprised me how many places were open today for Memorial Day. And I was like, really? And I really didn't want to have to go out and do errands today. But Zeffy needed food, and we got to the PetSmart too late last night. When we got there, it was 7:30 and they closed at 7. So I was like, damn, I'm going to have to go tomorrow. And then the vet was open today too. But then they've been, that particular branch of Banfield has been running short staff because they did have 5 vets, and they had one's out on maternity leave, one had left to start their own practice, and one had moved, had to relocate because their spouse got a job in a different area, so they relocated. So they're down to 2 vets out of 5. So they're having to open on days like Memorial Day, just to help keep things in line and try and keep ahead of things, because they're very busy. But I'm booked in for her, and now she's also booked in for July to get her annual dental done, and there's some other vaccination that she's due for at that point as well. So that'll get updated then too. So anyway, that's it. I'm out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Remember, drink responsibly, drive responsibly. If you're drinking, don't drive. Have somebody else drive you. Call a Lyft, call Uber, call a taxi, call a friend that's sober, or have a designated driver. Yeah, or camp down on the floor and sleep it off. And with that, I'm out of here. Have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Hey, konera.